What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new project from Joey Trey called Cut from the Same Cloth. Now, Joey Trey is a rapper who's coming out of Chicago, Illinois, and if you want to find out more about him and check out this project, just take a look at the information box down below where I have all the links for you. But after listening to the first couple of tracks here, it does seem like there are some light themes of rejuvenation and starting over. On the song Joey Trey vs. T Trace, for example, we're getting this smooth boom bap beat that is one of my favorite beats on the project, and here he's just spitting about new beginnings and chasing greatness, which does flow in nicely to the next track called No Time. On this one, he's trying to move on from the past and become a living legend, so with this project it does seem like he's trying to take his music in a bit of a different direction, or maybe just his lifestyle. I'm not familiar with his past work, so I can't speak exactly how his music used to be, but this is something that I did pick up on the couple of tracks. However, I would say No Time is the weaker of these two cuts because the production is kind of just your standard trap style joint, and then you're also getting some rapid fire flows that aren't overly crisp. As you listen to this song and as he's rapping, you'll pick up on how the flows get a little bit skittish at times. They're not overly tight, so that was something that I did pick up on and could certainly be improved a bit. And to be honest, since I'm talking about the rapping, I actually think the singing on here really came through with some great moments. There are times where he has some really nice harmonies and melodies, like on the catchy song called Ayashitu Emasu. I'm sure I'm saying that completely wrong because it's Japanese, but apparently that means I love you in Japanese, and most noticeably on Sunset Vibes. This for sure is one of my favorite tracks. You're getting this guitar lace joint where he's doing some sing-songy flows and straight up singing. Just kind of gave me like some Bone Thugs vibes, maybe even some Zero vibes you might say, and it even reminded me of Craig David a bit for some reason. I don't know what it was, man, just the sound of this song made me think of him. So I'm not saying he sounds exactly like these artists. These are just kind of the things that popped up while I was listening to it. So the singing kind of stuck out to me more because it's not that his rapping is all out awful, but even on some of these songs that I've spoken on so far, there's not really anything that's unique or exceptional about his vocal performance, the way he flows, his rhyme schemes aren't too crazy. It all sounds pretty standard, and I say this as someone who has reviewed like 1,000 projects and like hundreds of underground rappers. He does sound pretty common with a lot of what I've heard from rappers who are just coming up. So finding a way to maybe stick out a bit more is something that would certainly help his music. So while the rapping isn't overly exceptional, even the features on here, I find they didn't do too much to set themselves apart, although they certainly come through with introspective content throughout this project. The content does have its moments, including on the song Criminology, where he's speaking out against crime and the rise of violence as Joey spits. Back in the days when the kids had a blast playing on the streets, nowadays they gotta worry about getting blasted, bodies laid on the streets. There's also some wavy atmospheric production from Dope Boys on this song. I really like that, as well as the quality hook vocals. And then with End of the World, Joey and his friends are speaking on the craziness of the world, from racism to police brutality, fucked up politics, and beyond. So you're gonna get some nice content here. I thought the frantic string production on there was dope as well, and the vocal contributions from Exchange and Sam Watson really fit nicely with this project too. So fit nicely with this song, I should say. So there are some moments that really do come together with the features. I just didn't think like the rapping was amazing. There wasn't really anyone that I heard rapping that blew me away and made me think I had to go check their other music, but you know, that's just me. Now, the most impressive songwriting moment has got to be Unread Letters, and even though it does get a bit long at 7+ minutes, he did a good job with this track because all the perspective switches do keep you interested. The first verse, for example, has a fan wondering why Joey has changed his ways. The second verse is Joey's response to that. And then with the third verse, Joey is trying to smooth over this falling out that he had with a friend. Very deep and open and honest track here, so I really like what he was doing. Easily some of the best rapping, and I would say the most engaging moment on the album, so it did fit really well here, and it worked great as the outro track, man. This was a song that kind of impressed me as far as him putting his ideas and topics together in a way that is engaging and will keep you wanting to come back for more. But as expected, with an hour-plus long album in 2019, there are plenty of missteps here. Like I said, the rapping at times really isn't that exceptional. You get the non-distinct banger 100, where he's keeping 100, getting lit, riding for his team, chasing the cream, and other cliches. So you are going to get a lot of fillerish type of content here too, just your standard shit about an underground rapper trying to make it, facing the odds, he has haters, and these types of things. And he's not the only one who's guilty of this, plenty of rappers do it, but in order to make that type of stuff great, I feel like you have to have a really unique approach, amazing style, with the way that you're rapping. There just has to be some sort of catch, because nowadays everybody raps, and when you hear the same content over and over, again, I've reviewed hundreds of independent and underground artists who are trying to make it. I've just heard a lot of this stuff before, and there wasn't too much that really, blew me away in regards to that. Even the songs Arm's Length and Real Recognize Real, these have some of these same topics that I'm talking about. The former of which has some weird vocal mixing and vocal spots that sound a little bit watery, and the latter of which it gets draggy at about 5 minutes and would benefit from some stronger mixing and mastering. Some of the mixing and mastering throughout this project actually isn't tightened and crisp, so there are these little things that a lot of people are dealing with when they're just making music, trying to come up. Just these little things that do add up when you're listening to a project this long. I also knew the song FantASStic would be one of my least favorites because of the cheesy title. It sounds just like the title. It's just this cheesy, glitzy track about shaking ass. And then with Nobody's Fool, you're getting your standard pop rap production type of song. There was nothing here that was exceptional or unique either, although I would say that the vocals from Exchange on Nobody's Fool are pretty dope. So there are these moments that stick out even on the songs I didn't really care for, but making these songs tight and crisp. I feel like I said tight and crisp a million times. Like, where the fuck did that come from? Did I hear that somewhere recently? Tight and crisp, it almost sounds like some type of porn title or some shit. I don't know. And then crisp is making me think of Sugar Crisp. I'm just getting off track now. But there are these little things that I guess could be smoothed over to make this project better. I think even if he had to cut this project back to like the best 11 or 12 tracks, that would have made a huge difference as well. And I would have went with the higher score. But as it is, I'm going to go with a 2.5 out of 5 here. Pretty standard stuff, I think, based on a lot of things I've heard coming from rappers trying to make it in the game. But again, man, if this was cut back to the best handful of tracks, even like the best 10 tracks here, this could have been a 3 or possibly a 3.5. But there are these little issues that pop up over this hour runtime and do kind of take away from it. But that's all I got to say about it. You guys make sure you check it out for yourself and form your own opinion, because all I can do is tell you what I think. And make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.